person I want to talk about on today's show is Susanna Gibson. I don't know how many of y'all have heard about the Susanna Gibson story. Susanna Gibson is a Democrat who is running for a Virginia delegate in the 57th District of Virginia. She's a mom. She's a nurse practitioner. She is a public health expert. And I'm going to share her website in the chat. And I have said there's an open invitation if Ms. Gibson wants to come on the podcast and talk about her campaign. I would understand why at the moment she might not want to, but, you know, it is what it is. But here's the thing. It came out, and her Republican opponents released some videos that have been put out on the internet with some sexual activities between herself and her husband that, I mean, they put out, I guess, on some sort of website that they had done together. That they consented to these acts together. They consented to putting this information, these videos out there up on the internet. And it was in a specific adults-only website. And her opponents, or I don't know if it was her opponents specifically, I don't know if it was, somebody else, who just supports her opponents or some other Republican or whatever. They got the video and shared it online, and it's been all over Twitter. There are websites that apparently have hosted it or whatever. It doesn't matter. These were two consenting adults, and there are people who are conservatives who have tried to conflate this with the Boebert thing. And here's the main difference. Boebert did these acts in public around people who didn't consent to see the things. This individual, Susanna Gibson, the only people who would be able to see these activities are people who consented to see them. And look, again, I'm a sex-positive podcast. I believe that what consenting adults do is their business, and I have no problem with them doing whatever it is that they did on camera. They chose to do this as part of their private lives, and I mean, yeah, so they've made it somewhat public because they posted on a website, I guess. I don't know the full details as to what website it was posted to or what service they use and how it got out, but it got out, okay. But these are two married people having sex with each other. And so what? Who cares? But they're going to make a big stink about it because this is a woman who's trying to run for office, trying to make sure that the Virginia legislature is blue so that, Virginia can fight for things like, body autonomy and healthcare rights and other important issues like that. So of course the Republicans are going to attack as much as possible, and they found this particular video. They probably were like, ooh, we're going to fight this. But here's the hypocrisy here. The same people who are going to attack this woman, this candidate, for having consented to sexual activities are going to back Donald Trump, somebody who was found to be civilly liable for sexually abusing somebody who has admitted on multiple times that he can go up to somebody and grab him by the hoo-ha, that that he has no problem with it, that he has had multiple allegations of sexual assault against him, that he says that he could just walk into the Miss Teen America locker room while they're dressing and just walk around in the locker room because, he just brags about it because that's what he likes to do. It's sheer. They will go ahead and happily vote for him for this sex offender, yet they're going to complain about somebody who participates in consent to sex with her husband just because there's a video that they put online. And they'll continue to defend Boebert, who is doing sexual acts in a public place, and not have any care in the world about it as well. Again, it's sheer hypocrisy. This is why I say, that's why Nimbus Yosh says that that hypocrisy is a conservative prerequisite. And this is why I'm calling them out. This is why I said that all of the MAGA conservatives are the hypocrites of the week this week, because the hypocrisy this week shows, no bounds. And this is basically what I said on Twitter. I'd like to welcome candidate Gibson as a guest on my podcast. Much fuss has been made by a hypocritical GOP over consented to activities. These same GOP slime balls support Donald Trump's grab him by the hoo-ha, civilly liable for sexual abuse Trump for president. And hell, if I was working for the Susanna Gibson campaign, I'd lead into the GOP hypocrisy. I'd make a commercial. Virginia is for lovers, not supporters of rapists. Because as long as the GOP supports Trump, they support rape. But that's her choice on how she wants to fight this or not. But that's what this comes down to. Choice. The GOP takes away the choice on abortion. They took away this candidate's choice on when to share her personal videos. Voters have a clear choice, and that's to reject GOP hypocrisy. Don't let them win. Support Susanna Gibson. They took away her choice on whether or not this video should be shared publicly. They take away choice on abortion. Again, and I think it would be a great campaign slogan. Virginia is for lovers, not for rapists. And these people are going to continue to support Donald Trump and attack her. It's sheer hypocrisy.